Okay, so this is actually day 100 day challenge, day 22 through 24 for me. I actually made a video a couple days ago, which was what, Monday? And for some reason, the file was corrupted, and I basically had to pretty much do the whole thing all over again. So, here's a remake. Um, Today I actually wanted to show a little bit of my artwork. I haven't really shared a lot of it, and I kind of don't want to share any current concepts for my characters, but there's a few that I've done because I've redone a lot of the concepts, sorry, several times before. Um, Here's one of the concepts I did for one of the books that I'm working on. This is an older concept of one of the main characters. This is actually another character for the same book. And this book is titled Murder of Crows. It's going to be a sister book of the one that I'm working on for the 100 Day Challenge. The one that I'm focusing on for the 100 Day Challenge. I'm actually doing a little bit of work on both. Right now, my main concern for the first 30 days is to finish some of the main character concepts for Raven Poem. As far as Raven Poem is concerned, I've done several concepts for the main character. This is an older sketch I did, maybe a couple years ago, of the main character. Not really anything special, just kind of doing a little bit of a scribble, I guess. He's very overly muscled in this picture, which I was using reference when I did it. He's going to be a little bit more toned down than that in the actual book. This is another concept I did for his love interest. I'm not really too happy with this one, and there's a lot of things I wanted to change about it. I still kind of like it, but I decided to redo it anyway, so she's also going to be redrawn, redesigned. This is kind of a side character for the whole universe per se, because all of the titles I'm working on, as I've said before, are a part of the same universe. He's actually an angel, and well, obviously, I haven't really figured out his background, but that'll be way down the line. Right now, I'm focusing on the primary characters. This is another sketch I did of my main character. Uriel is his name. And I'm not really going to get into much more information than that at this point. This right here is actually a nice hefty list of some of the concepts that I'm working on. The character list that I have for my first book, the one that I'm focusing on right now, Raven Poem, and my second book that I'm working on. And then I also have a couple of others that I'm working on. But I'm trying to focus on one at a time. Another couple of sketches. This is another sketch of Uriel, and another sketch of the lead for another book that I'm working on. I've already shared this one with the group. This is a redesign for the face of the love interest of Raven Poem. I'm intending for her to be a lot more than a love interest, but right now that's the best way I can explain her. Here's a couple of other redesigns of characters that I've done. Concepts. Again, I'm not too happy with her, so I'm working on it. This is actually a redesign of the first character I showed you. And this is a redesign of the second character. I'm actually kind of thinking that I want to stick with the first two designs a little more, but I don't really want to go for a comic feel. I really want the story to be grounded, because it's pretty much going to be a supernatural book inspired by pro- properties like Constantine or Supernatural. I really want to keep it, no capes or tights. I kind of want to have uniforms, but not so much as costumes per se. Here's kind of just some very rough demon sketches. Really not that good as far as that's concerned. It's something I'm working on. I have a lot of work I need to do on my anatomy and figure drawing, and that's also something that I want to work on right now while I'm doing this 100-day project. Here's another sketch I did of the first guy. This is closer to the final concept that I've come up with. Right now, this week, as I've said, I'm mostly focusing on finishing up the character designs. I gave myself till my first 30 days, which will end next week, and I pretty much want to have the character profiles, for the main, I think it's between 7 and 10 characters. I want to have those profiles done and at least a rough character sketch for each. At least that's the goal I've set for myself. I've also, this week, I've pretty much been focusing on figuring out individual characteristics for some of the characters. I definitely want to make sure that you can tell them apart, and not only tell them apart, but also make sure they have different ethnic characteristics, because I want to make sure that my book, my world is diverse. I also have a couple of other sketches that I did this week, the last couple days, between yesterday and today. Some more sketches on the main character. Right now, as far as being able to being consistent with the facial features of each individual character is something I'm really struggling with right now. It's something that I really want to focus on. So for the rest of this week, I'm pretty much going to be doing as many sketches as I can for these individual characters and try to get their specific features down. And I want to finish, as I said, their bios and get their personality traits and even their interrelationship, their reactions, how they feel about one another or how they would respond to one another. I want to get all of that down and into my property Bible, because my main goal for this 100-day challenge is to at least finish my property Bible, at least for this chapter. Maybe not so much for my secondary or third books, but at least for this first book. And I'm trying to separate it in stages. So, as I said, for the first 30 days, I want to make sure that I have these character bios done. And of course, I'm going to add other characters to it as I come up with them, but for right now, this is where it stands. So hopefully, I will have more tomorrow. So keep pushing.